Hello, this is Mark Boyer, and I'm doing another short video on a short subject. And basically, it's the Doomsday provisions of the 1985 Bank Act, which is what I like to call them. They're called sunset provisions. Okay. And it says here, in public policy, a sunset provision or sunset clause is a provision in a statute or regulation that terminates or repeals all or portion of the law after a specific date, unless further legislative action is taken to extend it. Most laws do not have sunset clause. In such cases, the law goes on indefinitely. Now, so they say there it's not used in legislation. Okay, most laws. Okay, now the exception in the United States, right there, the United States USA Patriot Act had a sunset clause in it. Okay, it was supposed to expire in December 31st, 2005. And exactly as to Canada, what they do is they act and they give it a temporary, through orders in council or presidential decree in the United States, and they extend it, but they do it under, we're going to improve on this plan. So sometime this year, the Patriot Act is coming up for renewal under sunset provisions, and if nothing's done, legislatively wise, it has to die. So, in Canada, what they've done is, what we have here is the sunset provisions were introduced in the 1985 Bank Act. Now, the 1985 Bank Act has never been ratified. It's never gone through the Senate. It's never been fully ratified. It's upheld by orders in council, which is about the same as presidential decrees, because it contains in essence, it can't be legislated because it contains that sunset provision. And the reason I call it a doomsday provision, because this is okay, I found this one when it was being used in 2007. And it reads here on that, this application of the sunset provision, and it says, subject to subsection 2, banks shall not carry on business, and authorized foreign banks shall not carry on business in Canada after April 24th, 2007. That was 2 years ago. Except if Parliament dissolves on that day or in any time within the 3-month period before that day, banks may continue to carry on business, and authorized banks may continue to carry on business in Canada respectively, until the day that is 185 days after the first day of the first session of the first Parliament. Now, this is how they used it in 2007. And as to what happened here, there was an election called by the federal government, and Brian Mulroney did get into office. Not Brian Mulroney. Stephen Harper did get into office in that election, and exactly as it says there, within the first 100 days of office, he gave, through order in council, and filed that he gave all maritime jurisdiction from sea to sea to sea to NATO jurisdiction. Now, obviously, the banks continued to print money, so obviously this giveaway of our justice system was perpetrated in order to stop the banks from printing money. Now, you think that's outrageous, but bankers really are that evil. They really, really are. Okay, to ignore this they really are that evil. Look what's happening in Iceland, where they're saying no to the banks. They're destroying it. Look at anywhere the banks don't get their way, they muscle through and destroy. And in Canada, the reason the Banks Act can't be ratified is because they have these doomsday provisions that the banks can literally pull all the money out. Okay, they just literally can say, oh, we stopped doing business because you haven't made these concessions. And as to 1972, when I found this one, application of the 1985 provisions of the Bank Act, which says we can stop printing money and we can pull out all the money we want because you're not complying to our wish, and they force elections. And as Brian Mulroney did, or not Brian Mulroney, Stephen Harper did, he did this just before opening Parliament. He passed this decree. They walked into Parliament, and it's called Bill 1. And the push comes to shove, you either go back to the election people, to the voters, or you pass Bill 1. And his Bill 1 was to give all maritime jurisdiction from sea to sea to sea to NATO jurisdiction. And our courts run under maritime jurisdiction. Cities run under maritime jurisdiction. At least all the major cities in Canada run under maritime jurisdiction. This is real, okay? And they did this. What can I say? Now, they do this because of what's called the color of office. Okay? They perverted words. The color of office used to mean by the people. It goes back to Socrates and Plato, of the people who established democracy. And in 1991 publishing of the Dictionary of Canadian Law, it says that the color of office is see duress. Okay? And so you look at duress. Threat of to another's property. Threat of physical violence or economic duress, which includes a contract. See economy. Okay? Economy. The acquisition of the lowest cost at the appropriate time of financial, human, and physical resources in appropriate quantity and quality. Now, what can I say? The color of office is now saying by the people for the economy under duress of a bad contract, and the bad contract is NAFTA. The bad contract in the United States is NAFTA. People's human rights are being blown away, taken away through the Patriot Act, and technically the Patriot Act is just answering to the banks, because Americans are so broke and they've spent all the money of the banks so poorly that they have to foreclose on the country. And it's bullshit. It's all done by evil men who have to can't get away with it. Okay?